You're not going to believe this, but crowdfunding is projected to be a $25 billion industry by 2025. If you're a business or nonprofit leader, then why are you waiting around? You should start crowdfunding today. I'm going to cover with you 2 crowdfunding methods you can use and some of the best practices you can put in place for you to fund your nonprofit or business. Crowdfunding is generating donations or funds for your project or organization through a crowd or a large group. Pretty straightforward, right? But it takes a lot of work. Hey, I'm Miles Street and I work for-profit and nonprofit leaders who have been experiencing winning moments in the past, but right now you realize you need a new game plan because you want to dominate more in your specific industry and in life. And it can be quite profitable if you do it in the right way. When I started my nonprofit journey, I started out with crowdfunding. I consistently generated the funds to operate my nonprofit and provide for my family and live full-time working through my nonprofit work by crowdfunding was the majority of the method I used to generate funds for my work and to pay for my life. And I started with my family and contacts that I had. It was through family and those contacts that I began to generate the funds that I needed to get started. When it comes to crowdfunding, there's 2 different methods you can use. One is the donation method. And basically you're going out there to a crowd, a group of people, and you're trying to generate donations and funds towards your nonprofit endeavor or your business endeavor. And you might be asking for a specific amount, or might be asking just for people to donate or contribute a certain amount of money. When you do that, the best thing for you to do is to begin to share about your different programs, share about the different opportunities that they have to give to, what is the impact these programs are going to make, who are they for, what is the vision, mission, direction of your organization as far as that's concerned, how does that line up with the projects that you're seeking to do, what are some of the benefits that you see from those projects, how's it going to help your specific target audience. As you communicate that with people, then you can begin to ask them to give. You can ask directly for a certain amount. You can do this in a variety of different ways. You can do it via email, you can do it live, face-to-face. Maybe you get in front of a different groups and begin to share about your story, your organization, your work, the different programs and projects and things of that nature that you're about to launch out and do, and use those live events to generate funds. You can also begin to ask for email addresses through that. You can also do this virtually, do it virtually live. You can do it through different social media platforms that you use. You can also do it through different online giving platforms if you want to go that route as well. And you can use that online giving app that you're using and put it within a link inside your social media, and that way you can crowdfund via your social media platform and through your followers that way at the same time as you begin to share and communicate those different projects and programs. This is when you need to make sure you're communicating clearly and effectively, both virtually, both in writing, both live in front of groups. When you go live in front of different groups, whether it's virtually on a platform such as Facebook, Instagram, or you could go live on YouTube as well, and you can have people respond in the comments. You're going to need to answer some of their questions. This also happens when you do this in a live event as well. When I was trying to generate funds for my nonprofit work, the majority of it was done through crowdfunding. I would go to different events. Mine was Christian based, so I was doing it in church settings. And sometimes there would be times for you to answer questions from the crowd, from people that were there who had interest, who had questions about your work and the impact it was going to make. And you would have to be able to answer those questions at the same time, so you need to be prepared to answer a variety of different questions, especially if you're doing a live in person, or even if you're doing it online, because when you do it online, let's face it, you're going to have people that can make comments, and then you can decide if you want to address. Positive comments are easy, but how you handle the negative comments, you need to decide how you're going to address some of them as well, and make sure you have think through some of those things. But Anytime you're doing a public speaking anyway, and there's a Q&A, you need to be ready to answer anything that might come your way. And sometimes you might have to say, I don't know the answer to that right now, but I will get back with you. And these can provide you a good opportunity to begin to connect with other people. The second type of crowdfunding method you can use is reward-based giving. Now, this is quite simple as well. Honestly, it's you just giving the people something in return for their donation. And it could be something as simple as a t-shirt or a product related to your organization or related to the project or program you're trying to run, or it could, if you're doing this for a business, it could be related to, maybe it's one, you give them a discount on something as well. You could do that at the same time. However, if you're using this method for your nonprofit, the reality is most people will respond better to the just straight out donation method. If you're using reward-based giving for your nonprofit, people are going to question more the purpose, question more the organization, your reputation. The reality is, if you want to reward people or you want to recognize people, which is a great thing, one of the things that you can do with this is you could recognize them through giving them specific feedback on the programs or projects that they maybe donated specifically for, or maybe it's a certain event that they gave money towards and you share with them the results, or maybe if it's an organization and you're running an orphanage and maybe some of the money's going towards one of the orphans for medical care and the orphan writes a letter back to them for that donations. One of the things that I did in my nonprofit and work was we gave out scholarships, and I actually had a family who had been consistently supporting myself and my work, but they also wanted to give money specifically for this one individual to go to college. And this was the only way this individual could afford to go to college, and this person was going to go study in a Bible college and go into ministry, and I was running a Christian-based nonprofit, and the family wanted to directly support this individual. So this individual at times we didn't require it, we just suggested it, would write them a letter expressing their gratitude, their thankfulness, or giving them some information about the stuff that they're studying, learning, or how they're applying it. And that is kind of reward or recognition based, and it's that type of reward and recognition based that when it comes to nonprofit giving, that people respond to better than just you giving out a t-shirt for a certain donation amount. Now, one of the things that I did also with this, as far as reward based is concerned, is certain times of the year, and especially Christmas time is a good time. Those people who had consistently donated throughout the year would send them a gift, small token of appreciation, and saying thank you. Hey, do me a favor, hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. And showing gratitude for their consistency and for their donations throughout the year. And it could be simple as a magnet, or it was something related to my nonprofit work was all done in Thailand, and so it was something related about Thailand, and that's how I'd express my gratitude for them. One of the ways you can increase your crowdfunding approach is by getting others involved. This is where you connect with your raving fans. If you have a social media account and you've been sharing about your work through your social media, and you have people liking your post and responding to your post and expressing interest in your nonprofit work, then those are your raving fans. You need to be asking them to directly to share information, share the link, share post, and begin to help you spread the word and information and opportunity to give to your nonprofit through them supporting it via social media. They need to like it, they need to share it, they need to say something about it, but you can directly connect with them, DM them, and ask them to share it. Make sure you post that link in there for if you have a straight donation button, which IG now and Facebook can have that if you've got that set up in there, or maybe you're using one of the crowdfunding apps out there online, and you can place that link inside the post as well, and that way they can begin to spread the word and help you generate more donations that way as you try to grow your nonprofit. As you continue to use this crowdfunding method to generate funds, one of the things that you need to be focusing on, whether you're doing it via social media or you're doing it live and in person, you need to try to get two things from people. You need to try to get their email address, and you need to try to get their cell phone number. If you can get those two things, you can start doing email campaigns as well, and you can do text to give campaigns. Email campaigns are quite simple. Reality is, you should be, as you start your nonprofit and try to get supporters and donors and volunteers, you should get their email address, and you should be sending out some kind of consistent email communication with them, whether it's weekly, monthly, whatever it is you can do right now to be consistent about that. And you send out information and updates about your projects, your programs, and what you're doing right now. But if you can do that on a consistent basis through email, then you can also use that email for generating funds and through different email campaigns for your different projects or events. If you can get that cell phone number, you can also begin to do text to give. It's similar to email. Basically, you send a short little text message with a link to it, and it leads them to a landing page where they can make a donation to a specific event, program. The reality is, you see this a lot in the political world. Hey, when it's time campaign season and it's time for voting season, you're going to get blown up via text message. If you like a certain party, or if you don't like a certain party, they're going to be hitting your phone up. They're going to get your cell phone number, and they're going to send you those text messages to you to try to get donations or try to get you to vote for them. So you can do the same thing with your nonprofit. You can get the cell phone number of individuals as you get their email address. Then you have two forms of communication, two forms of ways to get information out about your nonprofit, and two forms for you to generate funding for your nonprofit and your specific programs. So I hope you get clarity about which crowdfunding method you're going to use, whether you're going to go donation or reward-based, or maybe you're going to do a combination of both. As you begin to apply that, I would encourage you to check out this video over here on how to recession-proof your nonprofit. This will help you make it through the really lean and hard times. And it looks like right now we might have to go through some lean, hard times in the next few months. So this will help you prepare for those as well.